In this video, I'm gonna show you guys why I think Crow has the best Wasabi power in the game. That's right, even better than Angelo, El Primo, or even Hank's Wasabi power. And in order to prove this, I'll be playing a few matches of Solo Showdown, Gem Grab, and Hot Zone. And I'll be using both of Crow's gadgets throughout the video. So let's first start off with Solo Showdown. Now for a long time, Crow has been quite an underused brawler, especially on Showdown due to his low health and slow recharge speed for his super. However, since the introduction of Wasabi powers into the game, there has been a huge influx of players using Crow in basically every mode, and for a good reason. Even if his health stayed the same, his attack being able to deal double the damage while also passing through certain objects, including brawlers, is a huge deal. Now, considering that Crow was meant to be played as a brawler who does chip damage, this ability now makes him capable of going up against any brawler in the game. Of course, the brawler is only as good as the player themselves, unless that brawler is Larry and Larry, but I have a feeling most players will be able to easily play Crow if they have the right loadout. Speaking of loadout, I'm currently using Slowing Toxin for his gadget, which is very useful when dealing damage or running away. Crow has always had good gadgets, but it's important to realize which one is best for which mode. For example, although Slowing Toxin can be a good choice for a showdown, I mostly prefer Defense Booster because, as I said before, his health is not that impressive. Being able to block 40% of damage for 3 seconds is fairly good, though don't expect to survive Angelo's triple shot from close range. Now moving on to Gem Grab, this is where Slowing Toxin really shines for obvious reasons. Crow has always been a great choice to use on Gem Grab because of his gadget and his ability to fly away when needed, and paired together along with his Wasabi power almost makes him impossible to avoid. I don't really have much to say about him here because I'm fairly sure many players are familiar using or encountering him if they play Gem Grab frequently. His playstyle for the most part is the same, though since he does charge his super faster, you might end up using it a lot more if you keep dealing damage. Apart from that, he still continues to be fantastic and annoying at the same time here. Finally, moving on to Hot Zone, I decided to play on the 2 modes that include 1 and 2 zones, and I'll be starting out with the latter. So, this is probably the most fun I had playing on Hot Zone because Crow now dominates the entire mode. Typically, when you think of Hot Zone, you probably think of Bo throwing his landmines at the center or Penny hiding her mortars in a bush. And while those do happen a lot, you rarely see Crow being used, especially back then. All of that however changed because his damage now allows him to keep up with all brawlers. And considering that these maps tend to have a linear design, it means that he can utilize his attacks a lot more than before. Granted, you might end up dying a lot more than you realize, but just being able to hold down a single zone by yourself says a lot. Now, believe it or not, but Hank is basically a joke to Crow now, and I'm aware of the balance changes that happened last week which reduced his Wasabi power damage by 70%, and I'm sure a lot of players are thankful for this, and especially Angelo's nerf, but even if that was still in the game, it's relatively easy to dodge him. All you really need to do is just stay in front of him at all times and to make sure that you're far enough away from his attack. Once again, using Slow Toxin is a great choice for this because nothing is more annoying than moving at a snail's pace. But do you know who else is a joke to Crow now? My mom! I'm just kidding, it's Tick. Yeah, in this match I basically kept on using my super against Tick and it worked like a charm. I mean, even his super is kind of useless as you can either just destroy them regularly or use your super to avoid them. Regardless, I think it's safe to say there are very few brawlers that can actually take down Crow. So I hope you all enjoyed this video and perhaps are considering using Crow since he wasn't really affected by the balance changes. He may not be for everyone, but you might be surprised by what he does. Once again, this is just my opinion on Crow because he is kind of in my name, so I have to make sure I live up to that title. Anyways, have a good day.